Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Emmett.
I'm Joe.
And
I'm
we
back.
are the UFO
UFO
Bros.
Bros.
And we're coming at you live from the facility tonight. We apologize. We're running super duper late. For whatever the reasons are, we don't know. We're just running very late tonight. So hopefully you didn't mind waiting a little bit too longer. Oh, I guess the audience doesn't approve.
Not approval.
Oh. Is that approval or disapproval?
Disapprove.
Let me hear it one more time.
Disapprove. Disapprove.
Well, I'm certainly glad you're back.
I am.
Oh, jeez. I'm glad you're back. I think that Replacement Joe did one...
From what I heard, he did a great job.
Yeah, he did one hell of a job. One hell of a job. Good stand-in.
Very good.
Yeah. Yes. We're just saying hi to some of our fellow probers in the chat room right now. If you don't know, we do chat with our listeners live in the Spreaker chat room.
Wait. Let's hear him right now.
No.
I'm joking.
We've got a few people. Alien on board. Carla's on.
All right. Hello.
So, hey, we're having a good time. And I'm fairly excited about tonight's topic. It's just kind of fun and simple and doesn't really require, I guess, much brain power. Yeah. This is a cute story. So, have you heard this story, Joe?
Which one? The Lavender one?
Yes, about the aliens that...
Oh, I saw the picture on our Instagram that you posted.
Yes.
And I know I didn't hear the story. Let's hear it.
Yes, shall we get... But first, can I have a round of applause for myself? Thank you all. Yes. Well, this is a rather terrific story. It happens in France, in a lavender field. 6 a.m. This farmer's outside, having a cigarette before he goes out to do his work in the field. And before you know... Yes, thank you, Joe. Thank you. And before you know it, he heads out into the lavender field to see what he described as an egg-shaped craft. Yeah, with a dome on top and 6 legs, which I think that's kind of like a lot of legs, but okay, 6 legs. And he said, and he approached it only to find what he thought were children outside of this spacecraft picking lavender. And yeah.
What?
Believe it or not. And I just imagine, you're thinking, oh, look at these children. Oh, shit. That's not children.
Those are some long fingers.
What the hell is that? So, here's the thing. These beings looked at him. He looked back at them. And he says, all of a sudden, boom, he was hit with some kind of light that paralyzed his entire body. And so he's paralyzed, motionless, and he has to stand there and watch them continue about their business of picking lavender.
WTF?
I know. And so he said that these beings, they were a slightly different than kind of the typical gray, but for all intents and purposes, you could just say that they were grays, and they were picking lavender. And
so they say it was a grayish-looking child picking lavender.
I don't know if he exactly said that, but the story goes on though to say that while he's paralyzed, he's looking at them, watching them, and they're exchanging looks. And he said that the beings gave him a look like not of anger, but more of what he thought they were making fun of him or laughing at him. That's what I know. That's what I guess was the story on that. So,
wow, interesting.
Yeah, so they just continue to yeah.
Whatever.
Well, here's the thing. When he talked about the alien races, he said that that their faces had slanting eyes, lipless mouths. I mean, that sounds kind of like the typical gray. Both beings were wearing green and blue garments that looked something like a boiler suit. But what the hell is a boiler suit?
It's a silver suit that they protects them from hot boilers.
Hey, we have 2 new chatters, bro. This is awesome.
Yeah!
We've got Brent and Sabrina.
Sabrina.
New chatters. Welcome, guys. Sorry, I have to type and do a million things. We're excited to have you. Very excited. So I'm going to continue with this story. So, and he even noticed details like a canister that was hanging from their belt, and this is where he says that, he heard a high-pitched sound, and he said that was them communicating back and forth, and that their facial expressions were not ill-natured, but very much kind of the reverse. So he's, I guess, paralyzed. Here he is in his own beautiful lavender field in France, watching these small children steal his lavender, and he can't move. I don't know why I find that funny, but he can't move, he can't do anything. And then it took off. Simple as that.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
It always seems to end that way.
They just come and go.
They come and they do whatever the hell they please, and then they leave. So, fantastic. That's this story, and I don't know. It's kind of out of the norm a little bit. I think there's something funny about the visual of these few gray aliens outside their spaceship in the lavender field and picking lavender. And I'm gonna ask, because we've got some chatters in our probers, actually, our fellow probers in the chat room, and I'm gonna ask them, why do you think they were picking lavender? What would be their need? I want to know. It is imperative. I know that Alien on board had said something about, the medicinal uses and potential use of lavender. Maybe they were needing it for that, or maybe they were just gathering genetic information. Maybe they were, I don't know. What was the shotgun for? That's more like it. Thank you. Bring us a little bit back down to reality here, Joe. So, what are your thoughts on this story, Joe, while I wait for some of our chatters and followers to weigh in?
Well,
what would you do, man, if you walked outside at the field out here and there's some little, like, egg-shaped craft, children picking shit? And you're like,
I was talking with someone today, actually. We were talking about the 3 Fs. It's freeze, flight, or fight. There's 3 different ways that you would take that situation. I think what happened is that he was so damn scared that he froze up and didn't want to move. So we were like, okay, I'm going to freeze. They're not going to see me. Just go away. Get away. Or there's ones that'll just run away, or there's ones that'll just go grab it and smash its head. It's just your natural instincts. It's the 3 Fs: fight, flight, or freeze.
So, are you speculating that maybe he wasn't like hit by a ray, but
no? I think that he was just so stunned that he couldn't move.
I often think about that look, I think one day I'll have an encounter. I think you will too. Hopefully it's when we're together and drunk and in, somewhere where we can run into a building or call for help just in case. I don't know. Somewhere we feel comfortable.
But haven't you noticed consistently, like I was saying, all of these are consistent with fields. You don't see an alien come down in the middle of a street in the neighborhood. You don't see that. They always see them in deep fields or forest.
I will say that I agree with you on part of that there seems to be a large lot of these UFO landings happening in fields. That's, I suppose, more speculation on maybe why that is. But there are plenty of stories, and we've talked about this before, Joe, where they abduct people straight out of apartment buildings. Exactly. Yeah, right out of their 35th floor apartment building, they get sucked up and abducted. And then you compare that to, literally, I don't even know, hundreds of thousands of abduction cases in all parts of the world. Some of them in the least likely place that you could imagine.
Okay, let me ask you from a city that some cities that never sleep. There's someone walking around. They should see something hovering or someone beamed up. I don't know.
Well, I would say that's true. I haven't necessarily heard anything about people seeing anybody coming flying out of their apartment building into a UFO. But that's a good point. I don't know why that happens, but that does seem to be a recurring theme. And then you wonder also if the, crop circle formation's connected with that. But that's a whole other thing, because here, I want to ask you, and I'm going to ask the people in the chat room as well, who I think...
Oh, because most of them suffer from memory loss. They can't recall.
But listen, I want to ask you, and I want to ask our chatters, and even anybody listening at a later time that's subscribed, what would you do if you walked up face to face with these two beings that at first you think are children, and then boom, they're not. They're beings of some sort, some slanty-eyed, strange-looking being with small slit of a mouth and no lips.
Are you talking about like standing, hovering over you, or?
No, what I'm talking about is, how would you feel?
I would be... it's like the 3 Fs. Fight, fright, or freeze. I'd probably wrap it up in a blanket and take it with me downstairs.
Wait, now, what if it was friendly?
We'd probably just hang out and try to communicate the best way we could. That's all I could say.
I don't think I'd be able to move, breathe, or do anything. That's me.
Interesting.
Yeah. What about, let's see. Okay, so apparently the people in the chat room say they can't hear anything? What are they?
Do you have it plugged in?
Oh yeah, it's plugged in right here. Hello, can you guys hear us? We're going to take a short break and make sure we've got everything working correctly just in case we are not. We'll be back. All right, we are back.
We're back. Is any battle?
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring up our mic volume a little bit here and see if that's better. Keeps cutting out, huh? How about now? Does it still... Excuse. How's this? Let us know. Because, you know what I was going to say, Joe? I was going to say our chatters are awfully silent. But apparently we are silent. Yes, we.
Access denied.
Which is bummer because we've got so many people on tonight's chat.
We do. We have, how many?
5 or so. Yes.
We do.
And I wanted to ask them if they went face to face or met, a being from another planet, what would
you guys do? What would you do if something was looking at you and just like popping its lips at you, like
popping its...
That's all I can think of. Something just popping its lips and then it's blinking at you and it's hovering its fingers around your face. It's
creepy.
What would you do? Would you grab it, give it a smooch?
Maybe I'd go... I don't know.
Would you give it a smooch? Would you punch it? Or would you just freeze until it goes away? I don't know, I have a feeling just like it's popping its head. I don't know why. Something's wrong with me. I've been talking in my sleep, haven't I?
You have been. That's actually a pretty funny story. We should get into that. So, we're going to get off the story topic here a little bit. But,
no.
Joe and I spend a lot of time together, you see. We are exploring a new life and a new love for life. And you know what it looks like? We're getting technical. People are saying that we have some technical difficulties. So I guess, what do we do? Do we restart the show? I don't know. We're going to, hopefully it gets better. Let's see. I'm just going to ask him, can you hear us? Yes or no? Guys, we can't hear you. Very interesting.
Can you? Maybe our mic's here. Let's just do this.
Can you guys hear us now?
Is that working?
Is this working? Hello, let us know if you can hear this.
We are podcasting on Spreaker.
Access granted.
Yes.
Is it working? Time is ticking.
I don't know. I'm asking. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. It just says, what happened? Can't hear anything as of about 3 minutes ago. So, I don't know. Okay, so Carla says she can hear us. So we can just continue the show, I guess, this way.
I guess so.
Okay, they can hear us. So maybe there's something wrong with our microphone.
Yeah, these microphones need to be cut up and thrown in the trash.
Yeah, well, which is actually a perfect time, Joe, to talk about going to our Patreon page. We haven't talked about that in a while, and that's that's www.patreon.com/UFOBROSTV, where you can, support us, pledge towards our goal and our mission of disclosure and really trying to bring fun into this. Hey guys, can hear you. Yay, says Sabrina. Awesome.
Do it.
Good. I think, like I said, Sabrina. Thanks very much for that. I was talking, Joe. Yeah. I'm glad they can hear us.
Finally.
Well, that's unfortunate, guys. That means that our microphones do not work, or we have some kind of a strange connection. So we're just going to use this through what we have now, which seems to be working, and you can hear us. So we're going to go with the flow. And you know what? We're at 18 minutes in, but did any of you hear the story of the Lavender picking aliens? I just need a yes or a no, or if I should retell it.
Recap it.
Because if you haven't, because I think Alien on Board did hear you a little bit earlier and says he would probably try to make contact, also maybe get some evidence so that, if he was to go tell people about it, he wouldn't sound crazy. I think that'd be, yeah. But if you're paralyzed, that depends. If they use a ray to paralyze you, then you're screwed. That's all I can say.
That's pretty much, yeah. If you're completely just stunned, or they freeze you. You get frozen. What are you gonna do? I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to read this article on these people that have been abducted in the city. And
yeah, which is perfect time. That always happens to me too. But I want to talk about.
But if like I said, there's a 3 F's: fight, flight, or freeze. Which one would you guys do? Would you guys fight it? Would you guys freeze up, not do nothing, or would you guys run from it?
And that's if there isn't an alien ray involved, right?
Sure, why not?
Well, because if there's an alien ray involved, then they have no choice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would hope for an encounter that was positive, and not only positive, but productive, I would say.
Okay. Sure. Oh, God, wake up. Yeah.
I just think it'd be cool to look in the face of a creature from another planet. I hate to use the word creature because that sounds so negative.
Sounds... Right.
Okay, guys, we're going to take a short break and see if we can get these mics working again. And see if maybe it was just a little mistake. We'll be back. Hang tight. Thanks, guys. Coming back to you. This is with the microphone. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Because if that is the case, can you hear me on this one as well? Because we're making sure both microphones work so that you can hear the both of us. Cool. This is working now. So maybe we just needed to, just give it a good reset. So, here we are.
What school is it?
We have no idea what anybody has heard or not heard.
I don't know where we left off. Oh, fight, flight, or freeze. What would you do?
I know. I think this is our third time.
Eighth time.
Now, eighth time. But I want to go to something here. Alien on Board is in the chat room, and he's wants me to share that how I guess lavender, going back to the story, can be used for things to treat space travel. Things to treat space travel because you can get like headaches and stomach aches, which astronauts get as well as muscle relaxing, maybe used for hypersleep. So basically, medicinal purposes, just like we had said before. I just think it's such a unique story. It's so specific and it's so small and it's so simple. And every damn close encounter usually just ends with them flying away. Did you hear about the lady? Let's talk about this lady. Oh my gosh. I'm not even going to try to pretend that I know where she's located, but it's a very old film. I'll have to find it. And she's recalling a story of this craft. Now, her son's outside playing. He's maybe 5 or 6 years old. He runs in. Mommy, there's something outside. She says, oh, stop. Basically, stop lying, go away. He comes back in. Mom, there's a spaceship outside. She goes outside. And there's a damn spaceship floating right above her house. Jeez. It was she said it was this big, beautiful ship, and that the ship was leaned forward in a way that she could see the occupants inside. And she said that the occupants were like, I guess what in ufology we would refer to as the Nordics. And the Nordics are the ones that are tall, blonde, blue-eyed, strong facial structure kind of beings that are all supposedly very nice beings, from what I understand. And she said then it just left. And she
I saw you, saw me. You saw me see you, you see me. So okay, bye.
She said, I believe that they smiled at her and she smiled at them. I think she said that. But
that's creepy.
What do you do? What do you do when something like that happens to you and you're standing there? You're just left with this most amazing thing that has ever happened that is so important. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Got it.
Thank you. Good. Yeah, because that was getting really annoying for sure. But I don't know. I just want to keep following through this idea of what it would be to have contact like that. And then all of a sudden the thing disappears and you have nobody to tell who's going to believe you.
Yeah.
And then you're not going to be... you have no proof. I think that would change a person.
Proof is in the pudding.
I think that would change a person forever. Maybe pull your mic up just a little bit if you can.
My echo back? Is it falling back?
Yeah, echo.
It's okay.
Thank you all so much for hanging with us, by the way.
Being patient.
We have no idea what the hell is going on here. Why we're having technical problems, but it seems as though everything's going just fine. And I'm gonna... There is tons of action in the chat room here.
Chatty.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people agree with what we were talking about earlier about Alien on Board. What he'd want to do is get some kind of evidence. Just what I would say. Because you're standing there...
There's probably been evidence out there.
My luck, it happens to me on the day that I leave my phone in the house or some shit. And I'm like,
You
damn
got-
it!
you got- I got enough battery to make a phone call to save my life, or take a picture of an alien. What am I gonna do?
That's actually a very good question. I don't know what I would do. Alien, death, probably. I wouldn't choose death for sure. No, I think that's harsh. We're gonna take this moment to thank our sponsors, ourselves. I'm just kidding. No, we've got a lot of really amazing supporters and followers out there, and thank you to our two patrons. We've got 2 patrons, and we appreciate you guys. Now, if you don't know, we've got a new website up, www.UFOBROSTV.com, and we have literally hand-curated a whole bunch of items, UFO, alien-related, men's apparel, women's apparel,
All kinds of
miscellaneous
goodies.
sorts of things, stickers of all sorts, just really cool stuff that I think that our listeners and followers would enjoy. So we picked those things. It's on the website, and you get free shipping. So we're doing lots of, everybody wins. You get free shipping, and then we get a little bit to put towards our next adventure, which we are planning one that is going to be quite spectacular. And we're going to need everybody's help and support.
Please help us.
So, have you noticed, Joe, how our social media is growing?
Very.
Especially Twitter. So I'm going to just real quick go on over here and give
Well,
a shout out to
Wow, look at that.
Patrick Ruiz. He's giving us some retweets and some love. It's Real Taiga. What is that? Oh, okay. It's a parody account, but that's cool. And we've got Carla, an alien on board, of course, which everybody has heard of them. Christopher Wolford, thank you. And
Give it out to AJ.
yes, and also the Ectoplasm Show and Hysteria 51. They're also giving us some tags and stuff on Twitter. We very much appreciate that. We're going to go over to Instagram, see what we've got over here. Got lots of new followers. Thank you. Hey, the BS Boys _ podcast just followed us. Jerry Bear 65, thank you. Juliet Walker 6971 is now a follower. And UFO Man 8014. We also got to give a shout out to Wolfman Mike.
Yes.
And all those awesome, crazy guys over at Paranormal Castle Radio. We are probably our most fun moment we've ever had doing this,
We always talk about it.
And we got to remind our listeners, Joe, we've been doing this only a few months, since November, actually putting out content. So
Yeah, we're at 1,299 followers on Instagram. We're almost at 1,300 followers. Thanks to all.
thank you all so much. I think that it's a testament to the times. And what I mean by that is, I think we're funny and we have a good time and we are serious about what we do, but we go about it in a unique way. But the interest is growing, and it's growing at a younger age.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, because that means there's awareness, that means more people talk about it. And, hopefully the more that, maybe if it's not this generation or the next generation, hopefully a generation soon will be able to take up the next mantle. I'm trying to answer Carla's question here. Sorry, guys. She's asking, when did this happen? And I'm trying to do a quick search to remember here. Let's see here. You know what? Funny enough, I don't know. And it was 1965. That was the...
What
That
is
was the year,
going on with
1965
all
in
the
France.
shouting?
You're crazy, Joe. You're absolutely crazy.
That's what she said.
Well, yeah.
Shh. Anyway, we are only about 7 minutes left or so.
No, we've actually got about 13 minutes.
Oh, 13.
Which is probably, a good time to let everybody know about the discount we have on our website. 10% off, $50 or more if you use the coupon code UFOBROS17. UFOBROS17 gets you 10% off, $50 or more, plus free shipping. So, www.ufobros.com.
Yes, please. I need your help.
Yes, and you know, I tweeted today and I said, if you haven't told a friend, please, because we need to knock this out of the park. This is going to be something, Joe, that you and I are going to be able to put all of our time and effort and energy into. We just got to get the followers, we got to get the fans, and we got to get the people on the same side of thinking as we are about what we're doing. And I think we'll be able to do it. And that will help us on our next voyage because it's going to be a big one.
Yes, I can't wait. It's going to be major fun contact in the desert. We're going to be there.
And by the way,
yeah,
some ways to tell friends, share our video.